Would you be the jerk for calling the police on your own brother when they try to get you to watch their kids? We'll get to that in a bit, but first, am I the jerk for refusing to pay for my daughter's plane ticket, but paying for my youngest daughter who this vacation is dedicated to? Hello all, I have two daughters named Kate, 23-year-old female, and Alex, 16-year-old female. For starters, Kate lives with me rent-free and bill-free. She used to live with her mother full-time, but her mom kicked her out at 18. I don't blame her mother though. Kate was absolutely terrible in her teenager years. She was rude, disrespectful, and would steal, smoke, skip class, etc. Kate barely finished high school and was put in a continuation school. Since this though, Kate's doing a lot better. She didn't want to go to college, but she works at a fast food restaurant and is saving up for her own apartment. Alex, on the other hand, is the opposite. She's amazing in school, works, volunteers, and still has time to do sports and clubs. I'm extremely proud of her and feel as if she puts too much pressure on herself. Me and my girlfriend decided to surprise her on a vacation. Alex always wanted to go there, and it wasn't as pricey as we expected. We planned this in early October. I told Kate about the vacation and asked if she wanted to come, but she would have to pay her own ticket. She said yes and would give me the money before Halloween. Well, she never gave me the money, even after being reminded. So I booked the trip November 1st for the 18th to 21st of November. I told my daughter this Sunday at dinner, and she was very excited. Kate then said, "You'll have to cancel and hope they refund. I work those days." I told her she wasn't coming since she didn't pay. She was confused and thought I was paying for her. I told her that she was an adult who worked and lived free. Why would I pay? She got upset and said because I'm her daughter and that I was paying for Alex, so why not her? An argument then happened, which resulted in Alex and Kate crying, and Kate saying she hated me. Kate's been ignoring us until we apologize and pay her ticket, which I won't. Well, yesterday Alex sent me a link to a video on TikTok where it shows Kate crying and explaining the situation, but she lied about a lot of things in the videos and made Alex and I look like bad guys. The video got a lot of attention and support. She even opened up a GoFundMe where she received close to $500. I showed my girlfriend and we were both livid. Alex was also very upset about the comments, which fueled my anger. When she came home, a huge argument broke out and I basically kicked her out for the week. She's been posting on social media platforms talking about me, my daughter, and girlfriend. My daughter even got some nasty messages on her social media. My girlfriend told me I'm right on this, but my daughter told me to just pay for her ticket. I want to know if I'm doing the right decision, so help. So personally, I think considering they're 23, working, don't pay rent, OP already didn't have to pay for them, let alone them going and posting that video. TikTok comments are ruthless. Also, hi, I'm Steven, and if you enjoy these hard-hitting, tough-to-answer situations and questions, and most importantly, getting to decide whether somebody's a jerk or not, why not hit that subscribe button down below? That said, our next story is, am I the jerk for not giving my niece and nephews gifts, since their dad already stole gifts from me? So I'll begin by saying that I, female 28, am on the spectrum. I don't really like children, and I definitely don't plan on having any. I own my own house and I allow my parents to live in my basement. It's a fully developed suite, not a dungeon. I have an office in my home. I keep boxes of brand new Lego in my office. Building the kits helps me relax. Afterwards, I keep the minifigs and I donate the pieces and plans to a women's shelter so the kids have something to play with. My brother, his wife, and my niece and nephew have come for a visit, and my parents asked me to let them stay with me upstairs so they weren't so crowded. So I said that my brother and sister-in-law could, but that the kids should stay downstairs. My office has shelves that are full of minifigs just lined up doing their own thing. No rhyme or reason to it. I call it controlled chaos. It's the only thing I let be disordered in my living area. My brother knows that I had Lego in my office and asked if his kids could play with it because they were bored. I said no. It would drive me nuts if I went to build a set and any piece was missing. I came home on Sunday from my weekly grocery shop and I noticed that several of my sets were missing. So I called my parents and asked them what happened. They said that my brother had taken a couple of sets for his kids since they're just toys. I was upset both that he had gone in my office but also gone against what I had said and taken my things. I usually give my niece and nephew nice gifts when they visit. For their birthdays this year, I gave each one a Switch. So the family was leaving today, and my brother was waiting for me to give them a gift. I gave them each the sets of Lego that they had opened and played with, and the kids seemed happy. My brother was upset because my mom had already told him that I'd gotten them a PS5. I found a bundle on sale and picked it up. I'm keeping it for myself. He asked if there was any other gift, and I said no, that he'd already taken their gifts from my office. Now he's upset because his kids didn't get something that I'd purchased for them. He said that I'm punishing them for taking my toys for them to play with and that I'm a cheap and spiteful witch. I think his kids got a couple of $100 worth of toys, and that's a pretty good gift, especially since he basically stole them. So I think most importantly, what matters the most is the kids were happy here. I think OP's not the jerk, and this dad very clearly is a huge jerk. Hopefully, maybe that'll make them think twice about taking somebody else's stuff just because they think it's not as important as the person who owns it does. This next story is, am I the jerk for calling my sister selfish for announcing her pregnancy at our parents' house? My husband and I have been having a long struggle with infertility. We've been getting treated and trying for a baby since 2017, but nothing worked. My husband is understandably devastated as he'd always wanted kids but never got the chance to be a father. He's super sensitive around the infertility topic. This my family knows. Days ago, we got together with family for dinner. All of a sudden, my sister and her husband announced that they were expecting. We were stunned. Me and my husband, I mean. As for the others, they were thrilled. As everyone got up to congratulate them, my husband got up, pushed his chair to the side, and walked out. They all stared at me, but I got up and told my sister she messed up by announcing her pregnancy like this, and with zero consideration for my husband, knowing how he feels about this topic. She got defensive, saying his issues with the topic wasn't her problem, and that she and her husband were fed up walking on eggshells around him. I called her selfish and cruel, but she complained that he ruined their joy, and that I made it worse by making a scene. I told her she shouldn't have chose my parents' house, but she said I have no place to dictate what she does in our parents' house. My mom asked me to go home, and I went. It's been horrible. My parents think I've reacted poorly and should apologize to my sister on both mine and my husband's behalf after the scene we made at their home. I feel bad for OP and their husband, but I'm sorry, but if you have issues with infertility and pregnancy is a touchy topic, it's disappointing, but that shouldn't prevent other people from being happy about theirs, from being able to announce theirs and celebrate theirs. And doing so in their parents' house is probably one of the most normal places to do so. Is she supposed to keep it secret? Is she supposed to bring everybody to their place and only tell them there? Are they not allowed to just be pregnant at all? I think OP is the jerk here. Our next story is, am I the jerk for putting my pregnant wife ahead of my mom when it's my mom's birthday? My wife is currently 7 months pregnant and has been having a rough pregnancy. She's also pretty emotional right now, which is to be expected. My mom has a birthday coming up, and I wanted to take her to dinner. My mom loves seafood and picked a restaurant which is about 40 minutes away. My wife is uncomfortable being in the car for long stretches of time, and there isn't much on the menu she could eat as she can't have shellfish. I explained this to my mom and she said my wife can stay home. I told her my wife is particularly sensitive right now and that would make her feel bad. My mom got annoyed and asked if she really had to pick something else because a grown woman couldn't be left home alone. I told her pregnancy isn't forever and please just work with us. She said to forget it. She wants seafood and all of the good seafood restaurants are that far away. I asked her to pick another type of cuisine though. She loves Mexican and we hibachi, both of those we have local. But she yelled at me that her birthday isn't about my wife. I accused her of being selfish and childish and said that my wife comes first. So she hung up. Now everyone's telling me that I'm a jerk and my wife's in tears as the whole family is mad at her. I think OP is the jerk. When it's somebody's birthday, you try to make an effort to go where they want to go if it's just as simple as going to a restaurant. If 40 minutes is too long of a ride for your wife, you don't have to bring her along with you. It should be framed in a way that isn't like a okay, well, you just stay home because we don't want you here. And more so when they just don't want the seafood. Make it a nice night in. Have yourself a great night. Put on a good movie, candles, order some food that you really like. Make it a good time while OP's mother gets to do what they want to do on their birthday. Our next story is, am I the jerk for asking my girlfriend not to swim in the morning? We, 26-year-old male and 23-year-old female, rent a place from her family. Said place has a swimming pool. We have a 2.5-year-old. My brother and his girlfriend are visiting, 30 and 32. My girlfriend likes to swim in the morning from about 6 to 6:30, and then for another 10 to 15 minutes, she swims with our daughter because it's a good bonding experience as well as exercise for both of them. We've never had any complaints from the neighbors. My girlfriend isn't exactly loud, but our daughter can be. Not every morning, and as much noise as you would expect from a toddler. My brother's girlfriend asked if we'd stop this just for a while they're staying due to noise, and the fact that she's a light sleeper. Plus, my girlfriend spends every Sunday in the pool, and she and my brother don't feel comfortable being around her in her swimming costume, but then said, but the noise and not being able to sleep are important. She did ask very nicely, and I joked, at least she's wearing a swimming costume while you're here. But I did ask my girlfriend because I know my brother's girlfriends complained for a while about her sleeping problems, but my girlfriend says it's a perfectly reasonable time, citing that she's silent till 6:30, and it's her house, so until the neighbors complain. But I just think it's an easy request to maybe change it from 6 to 6:30 to 6:30 to 7 or something. Well, she's upset with me and things are tense, but I knew had I not asked, things would be awkward with family over such a simple thing. Am I the jerk? I think OP is the jerk because of how long they're staying. If they stay 2 months, that's already 16% of the year that they're staying. If you're staying in somebody else's house for 16% of the entire year, 2 months, they deserve to maintain their daily routine regardless. If they were staying, a week or a few days, maybe you wouldn't be the jerk. And also, being uncomfortable with the swim costume is kind of ridiculous. So overall, I think OP is the jerk. Our next story is, am I the jerk for not going to my sister's birthday party because she refused to apologize for ruining my reputation? I, female 28, have a younger sister Jody, female 23. So Jody is a single mom. She has a daughter, 6-year-old female. I frequently help her out by picking up my niece from school and babysitting for a few hours so that Jody can work. Jody lives with our parents and a boyfriend, male 26, who she's been seeing for a couple of months. In early October, at one point, Jody accused me of using the family computer in our parents' home to go on gambling websites and signing up with her mom's debit card while I was babysitting. I told Jody that's not true at all and asked her why on earth she would think that. Jody explained that the money was disappearing from our mom's bank account and that she checked the computer's browser history and that gambling websites came up. To be honest, I was kind of offended that Jody would think I would do something like that. I've never had a gambling problem, and I've never stolen from anyone. I told Jody that that's awful, but that it wasn't me who did it. She didn't believe me and went and told a load of our extended family that I was apparently stealing our mom's money to go on gambling websites. And now they all think I'm a horrible person, and many of them have blocked me on Facebook. Anyway, the next week, Jody got back in touch with me. She said that she found a gambling website on her boyfriend's phone and connected the dots. And he admitted that it was him who was stealing our mom's money and going on gambling websites. However, Jody refused to apologize to me for jumping to conclusions and basically ruining my reputation with our extended family. Sure, I never speak to them anyway, but it's still a terrible reputation to have, especially when it's undeserved. Jody said that it's my own fault because I apparently acted guilty and said that I got too defensive when she accused me. Later in October was Jody's birthday and she had a big party with our extended family. I decided to give Jody her gifts a couple of days before, but refused to go to the party. I didn't want to go because I didn't want to deal with all of the questions and judgment, and I was still really angry at Jody for not even apologizing for what she did. My parents are understanding. But Jody said that I'm a jerk for not attending her party, and that if I'm going to be that way, then I shouldn't bother being a part of the family, and accused me of being petty. OP is definitely not the jerk. Can anybody be judged for being too defensive when they were legitimately not guilty? If I was in OP's situation, I would be livid and continually pounding the point that they have an inability to apologize and that they know they're wrong, and trying to blame OP for being too defensive is downright ridiculous. Our next story is, am I the jerk for calling out my ex's new wife for being unemployed? This is a weird title, but here's what actually happened. My ex and I broke up 5 years ago after a year-long relationship. He broke up with me and I took it very hard back then. I can't say I did anything crazy aside from a few weeks after the breakup, getting really drunk on a night out and sending him some embarrassing texts. It was the worst heartbreak I've ever had. And it didn't help that he kept messaging me to be friends, even though I tried to set boundaries and say I need space to heal. Anyways, that's all in the past. I can confidently say that I have indeed healed from that, and I'm over him. He recently got married to a girl he started dating like 2 months after we broke up. Honestly, I'm happy for him. Good for them. Me, on the other hand, I've dated since then, but haven't been able to find anyone worth marrying. I haven't even had another serious relationship since him. He's still in the periphery of my social circle because we still have a lot of mutual friends from uni, and sometimes I see both of them in social settings. While he and I have buried the hatchet and usually just chat when we happen to be in the same room for a bit, although we never text or meet up outside of these contexts, his wife and I have always treated each other with polite disinterest. I know she really doesn't like me. An important note about her is that she's been unemployed for a long time. I don't know if it's because she wants to be a stay-at-home wife, completely valid choice if that's her thing, or because she's been unable to find work, but she hasn't worked in many years, despite having a master's degree. I've been really able to advance in my career in the past 5 years, and I'm quite far ahead in my field for someone my age. And I'm very proud of myself because I worked extremely hard. Anyways, here's the issue. The other day, a bunch of people went for drinks. I came and they were both there. We were all sitting at the same table in a bar. Someone I haven't seen in a while asked if I'm dating anyone. I replied, "No, not right now." My ex's wife quickly made a snark comment. "Aw, it's okay, some people just stay single," in front of everyone, like 10 of our friends. Without missing a beat, I blurted out, "Yeah, just like some people are meant to stay unemployed." She got really upset, cried, and left. Her husband messaged me that I should apologize to her for embarrassing her. I said I will if she apologizes first. He said she refused because what I said was worse, apparently. Am I the jerk? I think OP's not the jerk. This was a very fair eye for an eye, and I would argue what she said was actually worse than what OP said. Not to mention, it was the first thing said, which automatically makes it a little worse too. If you think of it as like verbally punching them, OP verbally punched them back and then they got upset. "Why'd you punch me?" It's pretty obvious why. Our next story is, am I the jerk for telling my sister to stop taking pictures of my husband while we were at the beach? My sister takes a lot of pictures of my son, but I've noticed she does it excessively when he's with my husband. I thought I was being paranoid at first, but we all went on vacation together, and she was constantly taking pictures of them. My husband even commented on how many pictures she was taking of them. I asked her to stop taking pictures of him because she was doing it while we were at the beach, and it was weird. She was embarrassed because I said it in front of everybody, so she got defensive and claimed she was taking it of my son, but either way, my husband was still in the pictures. I told her to stop again, which upset her, and she started giving me the silent treatment. Later on, my parents pulled me aside and told me I shouldn't have said that to her the way I did because I embarrassed her, and now she wants to go home. They asked me to apologize, but I told them she was being weird and that she didn't need that many pictures of my husband or my son. Am I the jerk? I think OP is not the jerk because I didn't hear anybody that was involved fighting this, the father or the son. So if the wife comes and says, "Hey, you've taken enough pictures of my family, can you kind of knock it off?" It's a bit weird to all of a sudden feel defensive about it or upset. Like, if it's obvious enough that you call them out, they're probably taking a lot of pictures. This next story is, am I the jerk for letting my friend stay with me, even though my fiancé said he didn't want her in our home? My friend wanted to leave her husband, but she had nowhere to go, so she felt stuck in the marriage. I offered to let her stay with me for a few months since I had the space and my fiancé was working in the US for 5 months. When I told my fiancé she would be staying here, he told me he didn't want her staying in his home. My fiancé and my friend don't like each other, but I thought he would be okay with it since he wouldn't be here anyway, and because I explained how awful her husband was to him. We argued about it multiple times, but I couldn't just not help her given the situation. So I let her stay even though I knew he didn't want me to. He came home unexpectedly to surprise me and is mad because he found out she's been living here. He was going to tell her to leave but didn't because I started crying and practically begged him not to. But he's still angry at me for going behind his back and letting her live here when he made it clear he didn't want her in our home. He wants me to tell her that she has a week to leave, but I told him I couldn't because she had nowhere else to go. And she only filed for divorce because I said she could stay with me while she saved for her own place, so I feel responsible. Am I the jerk? 100%, I admire OP's admiration and assistance for their friend here, but they're the jerk through and through if this is equally both their house or even maybe their house in their name, and they didn't respect their wishes and went behind their back to do this stuff. That 100% makes you the jerk. And I wouldn't be surprised if this doesn't create some kind of fracture in their relationship, because if you went and did this behind their back, if there's something that you genuinely think is right but they don't feel comfortable with, are you just going to do it in the future again too anyways? If there's a dog to be rescued, are you just going to rescue it anyways even if they don't want the dog? His feelings and thoughts aren't respected here. Our next story is, am I the jerk for starting an argument because my boyfriend boarded a plane before me? My boyfriend, 26-year-old male, and I, 24-year-old female, traveled by plane to go to my parents' house for Thanksgiving. We checked in together and had different boarding groups. He was group 1 since he's active duty military. I was group 3 for being a platinum card holder on the airline. This is significant since both groups are considered priority boarding. We're both under the impression that boarding groups don't necessarily matter. We're seasoned travelers, very efficient when boarding planes, and the only thing that matters is that we're on the plane before the main groups, which are the people who don't travel often and are generally slower when boarding planes. When the plane started boarding, they obviously called Group 1 first, the group for active duty military and unaccompanied minors, and my boyfriend gets up and boards without me. I was annoyed since groups 1 and 2 are both super small, and group 3, my group, usually gets called super fast, if not combined with group 2. After my group gets called, literally less than 5 minutes later, and I get on the plane, I told him he could have waited for my group to get called, and we could have boarded together. He told me that it wasn't a big deal, and I said it was since we were traveling together. He had never done that before, why would he do it randomly now? And he didn't have a reason besides, it's for me. Why wouldn't I use that group? Even though my group is still considered priority boarding, we got into a mild argument about it on the plane. Nothing huge since we were, well, on a plane. He thinks I'm being a jerk for starting an argument and being upset about him boarding before me, but I think it's justified since he had never done it before and he didn't say anything prior. This isn't a new thing where he just joined the military. He's been AD for 8 years. We've traveled together multiple times. I think I've seen him use his military ID for a discount 1 time in the entire time I've known him. Anyways, am I the jerk for being annoyed at him and starting an argument for boarding before me? 100% OP is the jerk here. This is just so needlessly petty and exhausting. Why argue over this? Who cares if they got on the plane 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes before you did? Were they eligible to board there? Sure. Could they have waited 5 extra minutes and gone with you in group 3? Sure. Is there an issue? Did it cause any issue at all? No, you're going to the same freaking place. It's not like your boyfriend got up with group 1, turned around, looked you in the eyes and said, haha, screw you, holding up some middle fingers while going. It's not like they left you with all the bags or something. This is like you've been married for 30 years level arguments. Our next story is, am I the jerk for backing out on daughter's school trip because disabled son's play is the same day? I, 38-year-old female, am a room mother at my neurotypical daughter's 11-year-old female school. Room mothers do oversight on field trips as available. They're taking a field trip next week, and I promised my daughter weeks ago that I would go. However, I have a high needs and non-verbal son, 9-year-old male, with disabilities who's developmentally around the age of 2 or 3. It turns out his school is doing a play on the same day. His regular teacher just started maternity leave, and the substitute didn't inform us until a few days ago because she thought his regular teacher sent out the announcement. If I'm not there, my son will not understand why, and he will become inconsolable. My daughter's angry with me for canceling on her, no matter how much I try to explain to make her understand. I said I would make it up to her as soon as possible, but she's too upset with me. Her father can't go as he has to work, and we have no family in the area that we're close with. Am I the jerk? I think OP is the jerk, and the daughter's reaction I think is suggestive that this might be a reoccurring theme where OP prioritizes the son. Whether you think it's justifiable or not, the daughter very clearly feels like they're getting the short end of the stick as far as attention and care goes. This next story is, am I the jerk for not checking the scores of a certain NBA game on a 3-hour flight for a passenger on an in-flight Wi-Fi I paid for? I was on a 3-hour flight on an airplane traveling back home. I didn't have any form of entertainment on me besides my phone, and you had to purchase Wi-Fi to use internet during the flight. It was $8.99 for the whole trip, so I decided to purchase it since I didn't want to be bored the entire trip. There was a passenger sitting next to me. He asked me if I could check the score for a certain NBA game that was happening. Since I paid for the Wi-Fi, I should be able to use it however I want, so I said no. He wouldn't accept no for an answer and said it's only going to take less than 5 seconds to check the score. I said I don't care. You can buy Wi-Fi yourself if you want to know so badly. Would I be the jerk in this situation? I think both sides are jerks. I think it takes 5 seconds to check the score out. It might be a bother, it might be a little annoying, but it literally is so easy to just type in NBA score and see the score. It's literally right there on Google. But also them being belligerent, not taking no for an answer, definitely huge jerk. Do somebody a nice act of kindness for 5 seconds and just tell them the score. That said, our final story of the day is, am I the jerk for calling the police after my brother dropped his 2 kids off at my workplace? I'm male 31. My brother, male 36, is a single widowed dad of 2 kids. My nephews, both under the age of 10. He used to have babysitters, but ever since he met his new girlfriend, he stopped hiring any help because his girlfriend claimed that she wanted the kids to warm up to and get used to her as the only woman in their life. What the freak? So he started asking me to watch the boys whenever he had something to do. I would help if I was able, but I work a demanding job and need to cover full time. He, for whatever reason, refuses to acknowledge that. Days ago, he was going for lunch with his girlfriend to meet her friends and wanted me to have the boys. I told him I had to work, but he begged me to take the day off. I refused and went to work. At 11 a.m., a coworker of mine entered the office, and behind him were my nephews. I was flabbergasted. He told me my brother dropped them off so they could stay with me. I was in a state of disbelief, but also furious. I felt stuck and terrified that my boss would see this and I would get in trouble. I couldn't even take time off because of how busy I was. Out of frustration, I called the police and explained what happened. They got a hold of my brother and he was forced to come take them off me, as well as get into trouble with the authorities who spent hours talking to him. My boss eventually found out and I had to leave work early and go home. In the evening, my brother called and started screaming at me, calling me names of all sorts and saying that I not only ruined his meeting with his girlfriend and her friends, but caused him to get in trouble with the police. He called me a vile son of a witch and said that I could have had the kids with me for a couple of hours, or even took them home and took the rest of the day off. We haven't been speaking, but his girlfriend is constantly shaming me for what I've done, saying she treats the kids better than I do and that I should be ashamed for this. So, very clearly, OP is not the jerk here, and if anybody thinks otherwise, I would love to hear your reasoning as to why OP could possibly be the jerk here. If anything, I feel like the girlfriend is being a terrible voice in the back of OP's brother's mind. How much are you guys willing to bet that she was the one that was putting OP's brother up to this task of dropping them off on OP like that? But with that being said, that's all the time we have for today. Now, if you want to hear another absolutely crazy Am I the Jerk Here story, check out that video on the left. Or if you missed my latest video, check out that video on the right. That said, I'll see you all next time with some more stories.